few years ago, I was hospitalized, and I remember I went into the hospital because I had broke my toes. I broke two toes, right? I'm a laugh for you guys because listen, I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up. It gets pretty dark in my place, so I turned the TV off and it was pitch black. My eyes didn't adjust, and I'm walking and I'm stumbling, and I hit my bar, and then I try to gain my footing, and as I take another hard step, it was the frame of the door, and my toes just went straight up, and I sat there, and I was like, man, in the dark. I said, man, I broke my toes, right? I broke my toes. So fast forward, I get to the hospital. The docs, they're running their the triage and their examination, checking everything. They say, "Oh, Mr. Dillard, after getting X-rays, you didn't break one toe, you happen to break two toes." So, oh, wow, I broke two toes. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, and they were like, "Well, how do you feel?" I said, "What do you mean? How do I feel? I feel great. Outside of breaking my toes, what do you? How else am I supposed to feel?" I said, "Outside of breaking my toes, I feel fine. Thank you." Well, they said, "Well, we have some concerns. You, your blood pressure was normal, but your heart rate at the time, what was it? A heart rate? I'm trying to think. What was it? Hmm. Something was going on with my heart rate, but my blood pressure was normal. Yeah, my yeah, that's right. Heart rate was elevated, blood pressure was normal, but it was to the point where they looked at my charts and they were like, "This seems abnormal. Something's going on here." And they kept asking me how I feel, and it was the temperature. I had a temperature of 104.5 or 105 or something point. It was almost 106, something crazy. And then they were like, "You don't feel like you have a fever? You don't have a headache?" I'm like, "No." I said, "I just broke my toes. Like, look, let me get up out of here." They're like, "Well, we're gonna keep you overnight." I'm like, "For what?" "Well, we can't release you with this temperature. We have to bring this temperature down, and we have to figure out why your temperature is so high." So, I'm laying there. I'm laying there. They're running their tests and they're doing all this other stuff, and laying there when their diagnosis was I had a small pocket of pneumonia in my left lung, and it was small, but it was enough that my body was fighting it off. And so I'm laying there, and I'm like, man, how did this happen? And the doc came and told me, he's like, man, look, he was like, listen, thank God that you did break your toes. And he said, man, he brought you in here because of the fever that you didn't know you had. He was like, this fever could have taken you out. I said, wow. So I lay there, and he was like, yeah, man. He was like, yeah, be thankful that you broke your toes to come in here because that fever that you didn't know you had could have taken you out.